Hi guys. So for today's reading, we are going to be looking into who supports you and why. I love doing these readings. It's so great to see how many people are in our corner, especially when we're in the dark about it and we feel like we're all out there all alone, but yet there are so many people behind us, even when we can't see them. A lot of times people don't take the action to show it as well, which can make it even harder to see. So we have 3 piles today. 1, 2, 3. Take a moment to get in touch with your intuition and your higher self and pick the pile that you feel most drawn to. And just a big thank you as well to each and every one of you here today who does anything to support either one of my channels, whether that be liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, or donating through my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wishlist, which you can find in the description box below, or hitting the little super thanks button. All that stuff really helps me out so much, you guys. I thank you so much for that. It's always amazing when what you put out into this world comes back to you. And it comes back to you from the other angels on this earth who are just like you, trying to make the world a better place and trying to make sure that those who are doing good things know that they're doing good things. And try to make sure that those who are doing good things are supported in doing those good things by helping them get back on their feet when they're down, things like that. That's a lot of the reason why I wanted to make this video today too, is because it's not all the time that we can always see the support coming our way or how it's coming our way or why it's coming our way. A lot of times that's very cloudy to us because a lot of times we can be stuck in very harsh self-judgment. And it may take you over a bit to where you have a hard time feeling like anybody could be supporting you. And it could even be that you're dealing with a lot of people that are jealous or bitter or angry or whatever the case may be, that could also be stopping you from seeing these people that actually are in your corner because of all the hate or angry or jealous or bitter energy being directed at you. So let's get started with pile 1. Ooh, pile 1. You might be a little bit hard to track down sometimes. You may have recently lost a pet as well. There could be somebody supporting you in recovering this pet or lifting you up after a pet has passed away and helping you to be open to the idea of maybe even getting a new one. Because, you know, you can never replace those pets in your life that you love to death, but you can have a new friend. You can open up to the idea of a new friend. This could also be a lot to do with, for some of you, you may have lost a lot of people that you loved in your life. There might have been people who passed away, or there might have been people who moved away, whatever the case may be. And there could definitely be people around you that are kind of watching over you like a mother hen or a mother bird, and they're kind of shoving you out of that nest a little bit, making you go out and do something, making you get outside, making you go play, making you go have fun, and or just pushing you to do those things. They're trying to pull you up out of your slump and out of your depression. They're trying to kick you into gear and make you see that there are a lot of good things out there, even when we're upset and sad and things have happened that hurt. So the name on this tag is Murray, and the number on this tag, 7959489-208. Somebody could be born in 89, 79, 95. Somebody could be 47 years old, 20 years old, 8 years old, 80 years old. So for some of you, you could have grandparents that are supporting you. You could have children that are supporting you. You could have people in your age group and people that are varying through other age groups. You definitely tend to attract many different age groups as well into your life. Somebody is trying to help you see things more clearly, pick up on the little details and the things you might have missed. Somebody is trying to help you fight your way out of some sort of illusion. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with the way that you look at yourself in the mirror. She's so broke. She's so beautiful. I wonder if she'll ever know. There's a song that has those lyrics in it. Good song. Somebody is trying to help you see how beautiful the colors that you have inside of you. Oh, true colors from trolls is coming to mind now too. Somebody sees your true colors. They love your true colors. They feel like you are somebody worth putting that time, that effort, that energy into. Your love never went to waste. So this could even be somebody that you thought, my love went to waste. I wasted all my time, all my energy, all my effort on this situation for no reason. And this person may not have seen your value or your worth in the past. They may not have seen the level of friendship that you offered in the past, but they do now. This could even be somebody that you helped through a situation when they lost a pet of their own. Some of you could have even brought their pet back to their house. Some of you might have even talked to them about the way that they treated their pets and whether or not they wanted to continue the cycles of past people in their lives, or whether or not they want to just handle things differently so they're not spreading so much hurt. Somebody is supporting your step into power, your level up. Somebody feels like you have the keys to the kingdom and you deserve the keys to the kingdom, or you should be handed the keys to the kingdom because you deserve it. You deserve to be in a leadership role. You deserve to have that power. You're a very responsible person. You're a very down-to-earth person. You are somebody who always strives to do the right thing, and you lead by example. So somebody is very proud of you. They may even be very proud of your efforts to push people to do things themselves. This may have been somebody that you pushed to get out there and do things again. Somebody could have even been in prison, and maybe you pushed them to get out and start doing things again, talking to people again, feeling confident about themselves again, and picking up the pieces and starting over fresh with this new life because they've already served their time. They've paid for what they needed to pay for, crimes-wise or karma-wise or whatever the case may be. And now is the time to start eating again, to start. This could also be somebody as well that maybe you have taken care of in some sort of way. You might have brought them breakfast in bed. They may have actually even been somebody who was hurt or injured at some point in time. And you may have helped them to get back on their feet while they were injured in exchange for what they feel like is very little. But you might have actually seen what they gave in exchange as bigger than it was at the time. And at least they were doing something in exchange. This person didn't see that, if that's the case, and they may have seriously self-sabotaged a connection or friendship with you because they felt like they were the scum of the earth. And they felt like you deserved so much better than them. So they may have really done something that hurt very deeply. Have the confidence to break your silence. You never know what may be lost without your voice. Silence is sometimes a very big betrayal. Sometimes it is super essential that you express yourself and express your voice. You could have been somebody who broke free of that cage of keeping all of your thoughts or ideas to yourself, or keeping all of your wisdom and knowledge and understanding of things to yourself. So this person is either rooting for you currently to break out of this, or they were rooting for you the whole time to be able to break out of this when they watched you with somebody else and interacting with somebody else and the way that they were behaving. This could even be somebody that maybe you apologized to for not speaking out when you should have in the past. This could be somebody who actually inspired you to start speaking out because of the things that happened when you didn't. This could also be somebody who might have had something in their drink or their food in some sort of way. Munchausen syndrome is now coming to mind too. Realize. Real lies. Blah, 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 blah. So you might see right through a lot of people when they are lying about certain things, when they're not being on the up and up, when they're not really being straightforward, things like that. You may notice that very strongly. And somebody else believes in your gifts. Somebody else believes in your gifts very fully. And somebody else actually might, there may be a situation too where people are thinking that something's going down one way and that somebody is responsible for it, but it might actually be somebody else who is responsible for it. And you have voiced this, and they are looking into it currently. Ten of Swords, Five of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Swan, and the Camel. So, somebody is supporting you in the emotional intelligence that you have. They're supporting you in expressing the truth of your feelings and feeling like it is okay to express the truth of your feelings. It's okay to walk into a confrontation, to start a confrontation. Ooh, this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me because we need a little controversy and it feels so empty without me. So somebody is definitely supporting you in expressing your truth, even if it's going to cause a problem, because they know that this is what's going to free you from any of the past pain, hurt, betrayal, heartaches, anything like that. There's been a lot of fights, a lot of arguments, things like that. You've handled things very calmly, very smoothly, very soothingly. Somebody may even want to come forward and express the truth about how they feel about you and how they feel about how you handled the conflicts and situations going on around you. And yes, there may have been a few times where a little bit of a dark side might have surfaced and came out, but for the most part, you really handled these things very smoothly, very effectively, very efficiently. And it may have actually been a mirrored energy by this person. You and this person could have actually been in a situation where somebody else was causing a lot of arguments, fights, drama. There could have been a lot of jealousy. There could have been a lot of gossip, chaos, things like that. There could have been a lot of warped thinking even going on. Maybe even about you. And somebody's like, no, that's not who they are. They're somebody who can make it through anything on their own. They're not super codependent or clingy. They're somebody who is very stable and strong. Somebody who can go through a lot with very little. They feel like you've had very little support in what you're doing and that you have done so much for other people, but those people have not lifted you up in the same manner. And this person is ready to start expressing these truths about these situations. This person may have been somebody who was trying to please everybody else, or somebody who was, like that whole, it's like the statement bros before hoes. It's like this, or blood before water, and now this person is realizing that they betrayed you with their silence, and they need to break that, and they need to express that so they can free themselves from this constant fight and war inside of their mind. And even it might have manifested around them to where that fight's going on around them all the time, and nobody's believing them, and everybody is lying about what's going on. And so now they may want to really fix and mend the past and let you know that they are sorry for what happened in this situation. So that is what I have for you guys, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. I would absolutely love to hear what you guys have to say about it in the comments below, whether or not it resonated, what you might have going on, things like that. And thank you to each and every one of you who does whatever you do to support this channel, whether it be through donations. You can find my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wishlist, and P.O. box in the description box below if you want to be able to do that. You can also hit the super thanks button, or whether it's liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing on this channel or my other channel, Dee's Storytime, and you can find a link for that in the description box below as well. You guys really do make a very big impact in my life. The angels on this earth got to stick together, and I really appreciate the ones who do in my corner. So thank you for your support. And thank you for believing in me and trusting me to lead and guide you. It takes a lot to do that. And thank you guys for that. Also, thank you to all of our guides on the other side, looking out for us and sending us these messages and helping you guys to find the ones that you need to hear as well. They really do a lot for us, and I am very grateful to them, especially my ancestors that have been standing in my corner supporting me very strongly for a very long time. And a lot of you may actually be needing to make sure that you show that and express that gratitude to them as well. So thank you guys for being here today, and I hope you have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys. Pile number 2 for you guys. Let's see what messages you need to hear for who is supporting you, why and how. So, before we get started, there could definitely be some people that are criticizing you in some sort of way, and it may be very deeply hurting you. Remember that sometimes there can be some truth to some of those things. And if you feel like you need to work on anything, try not to project that out onto others. But at the same time, there could definitely be people that are being very hard on you, very overly critical, overly analytical, really just getting on you for no reason. And you know what? There may be a little bit of a reason there too. There might actually be some things that you might be fucking up on a little bit. But everybody has those moments at times. And these people could be a little bit more patient, a little bit more compassionate, a little bit more understanding with you and what you're going through. And there's definitely somebody who is feeling that same way. Somebody is definitely supporting you being able to go out and experience life, being able to have some of the rites of passages that you may have missed. You may have missed a lot of rites of passage. You might have grown up very young. Like me. I was babysitting at 10 years old already. And then by 13 years old, I was almost like the housewife and mother for my mom while I was still going to school. And I grew up very quickly. I was molested from 10 to 12 and a half. And then after my stepfather went to prison, everybody fell off the rails. So there wasn't much support around to, help me get through what I was going through. I had to figure out how to do that myself because everybody was pretty much just gone. And so you could have been through a lot in your life. There could have been a lot of abuse in your past, and everybody's like, oh, that's no excuse for anything. You know what? It's not an excuse. But it does help people to have some understanding and compassion when they can get it through their fucking head. That when you've been so responsible for so fucking long, and every burden and every fucking responsibility is stacked on your fucking shoulders, and you have to take care of everybody, including the adults around you, even as a child, at some point you have to find that inner child again, or you're never going to be able to have fun in your life. You're never going to be able to have joy in your life. You're never going to be able to have true happiness in life because you buried that inner child somewhere because they weren't even allowed to be there. They weren't allowed to mess up. They weren't allowed to have fun. They weren't allowed to go out and do normal things that normal teenagers do, like experiencing the world. Back in the 90s, there was a lot of, it was a lot more lenient around here. This country, this is America. Listen to that song, Childish Gambino. We don't have to be a bunch of fucking perfect-ass robots, okay? That's not what we're here for. And yes, when it comes to addictions, anything can be bad. That doesn't matter if it's prescriptions. It doesn't matter if it's drugs. It doesn't matter if it's alcohol. It doesn't matter if it's food. It doesn't matter if it's people. It doesn't matter if it's TV. It doesn't matter. Video games, sex, porn. Everything can be addictive, and it can be seriously damaging when it is. But nothing in moderation is bad. In the 90s, there was a lot more of where cops would show up at a party and make sure all the kids got home okay. Check on them. They were showing up to check on them. And they'd make sure all the kids got home. They viewed everybody else's kids as their kids. Every kid is my kid. When it comes to wanting to have a healthy community, that's how it needs to be. And nowadays, well, at least, it's not necessarily nowadays. It depends on where you're at, too, and the ones that you're dealing with. There's a lot of people in law enforcement like that abuse their power very heavily, who come across those parties and then blackmail all those kids. Or who come across those parties and they got a fucking chip on their shoulder because they were bullied in their childhood and now they've become the bully. And they push the situation into something worse, or without even warning anybody or anything like that, just arresting them immediately. You could definitely be somebody who is fighting for the rights of a lot of people. Did you know that in this country there are more people incarcerated than any other country? And those people, once they're incarcerated, they're not allowed to vote. Once they have I think, once it's on a felony level, they're not allowed to vote. They're not allowed to have a say in their country anymore. They are degraded, used, abused, hurt, and left to fend for themselves with nobody to stand up for them or step in for them. When they get out of there, they definitely do deserve to have a fresh, clean slate. Karma has already whipped their fucking ass, okay? They deserve to have a fresh, clean slate. They deserve to be able to live a good life after that. Some of them learn, some of them don't. Not everybody stays the same way for their whole life. And you may be somebody who believes very strongly in changes like that. And you speak on it. You express it. Your prayers, your meditation life. You may have turned away from a more structured religion to something more along the lines of like Buddhism, where they don't really they believe in finding wisdom in everything that you come across. They believe that there is good wisdom within all the stories that you can find. That all of them can teach you something and to open your mind and see a higher perspective. You may be very connected to the earth. You may be very connected to the elements. You may be very connected to the energies. And you are somebody who speaks on a lot of things that are very valuable and important in this world. For some of you, this is going to be your dad. For some of you, this is going to be somebody who really wanted to be with you. And since they couldn't be with you, they may have ran away from the situation because they couldn't handle the emotions that they felt for you and how strong they were for you while watching you with someone else. And I have an eyeball in my hand. Somebody supports your intuition and those nudges that you're being given. Maybe even the messages that you're receiving from the other side if you have a tendency to interact with spirits. Trust in those things. They believe in you. And I feel like for some of you, there could actually be somebody who has passed away who feels the same way as well. And orange could be a very important color. It could be somebody who really loved the color orange. This is somebody who really supports you in expressing yourself, freeing yourself, allowing yourself to be passionate, wild, crazy, to go over the top occasionally, to stumble, to fall, and to pick yourself back up. This person supports you in being able to make the choices for your own life, to choose what you want to do and what makes you feel good, what makes you feel inspired, and what makes you feel like you make a difference in this world. Some of you may want to become a lawyer, for some of you, so that you can defend these rights even stronger. Some of you may want to work in diplomacy in some sort of way or some sort of field. Some of you might even want to work in health and welfare, doing checks on children that are abused, things like that, or as a teacher so that you can be there to guide these kids and help them to see what's right and wrong, and also so that you can be there and see what's right and wrong yourself from inside of there and be able to do something about it. Instead of being somebody on the outside that nobody's believing, you're going to be somebody that's on the inside that people actually view as a person that is on the up and up. You have decided that while you are shepherding all of those outcasts, to be an incast is going to help with that. For some of you, your speaking, your voice, the way that you bring transformations and changes, the way that you've changed yourself, the way that you've opened up, the way that you have really just started to enjoy life more and love life more, the way that you've been exploring your emotions, maybe even exploring your options, and really not just Staying stuck in a box. This person really supports you in breaking out of the box. Be true to who you are. The beauty inside is overflowing. The real you will get you far. Look at the seeds of life you're sowing. What will you reap from the life of a sheep? When instead you could flourish if you choose to take and nourish the real you inside, who is wishing for a solid new ride. Oh, a change of tide. Who's wishing for a change of tide or a solid new ride, because I wrote that underneath it too. I didn't even see the solid new ride part, and I actually spoke that part. And then I crossed out the change of tide. I was looking at change of tide when I said solid new ride, though. There's going to be a change of tide that's going to bring you a solid new ride as well. 8/3/19. Something could have happened a couple years ago that could have caused you to be without anything. You could have been experiencing life with very, very little, and you are now climbing up and out of that. There might actually even be somebody around you who is going to help you in having a new vehicle to be able to take care of the things that you need to take care of so that you can get back on your feet. There might actually be a lot of people that are getting ready to reach out and help you in certain ways to get you back on your feet. And a lot of it has to do with I feel like a lot of it has to do with the gratitude and recognition that they have for the transformations that happened in their life because of the things that you have said to them. I feel like you gave a lot of people a lot of wisdom, and it really brought back their inspiration, their motivation, their drive, their passion for life again. And it made them want to do something, be something. And they love you for this. The moth. You are a light in this world, and you draw in a lot of people that are in darkness. And those people find this light, and it makes them believe again. It makes them hope again. It makes them see again that there is light in this world. This world isn't just a dark, despairing, just awful, fucked up place. And I feel like these people that you have done that for, a lot of them are going to be coming back to show you that light. And these may be people who in the past, when you ran across them, they were in this darkness, hurt and pain and despair and everything else, weighing them down, stressing them out on their shoulders. Surface pressure from the movie with the family madrigal. I can't remember the name of it. They should have just called it the family madrigal. Anyway, these people may have hurt you in some sort of way in their darkness. They may have been in a lot of pain. They may have been in this moth energy. They may have been in a lot of pain and a lot of hurt, and they may have dealt with a lot of people who weren't there to support them and a lot of people that weren't there to lift them up, and they could have been going through a lot with very little at their disposal. And you may have came into their life and provided a lot for them. And currently that's getting ready to come back to you. If it hasn't started yet, it will be soon. There's going to be a lot of golden opportunities sitting right in front of you. Trust. Trust what's happening. Try not to let fear destroy everything. Remember that love is the most important thing of all. Two of Wands, making the decision to end things, death. You may have actually supported someone in their decision to end their life as well. My dad, when he passed away, and since Aquarius is here and he was an Aquarius, and when he passed away, he had stage 4 liver cancer. He had quit drinking a year before, and then he found out he had stage 4 liver cancer about 9 months after that. And they told him that it was done. It's done. You got maybe 3 months to live. And if you do chemotherapy, you'll maybe have 6 months to live. And he was like, no, there's no way. There's no way I'm doing chemotherapy. It makes you sicker than fuck. There's no way I'm doing that shit. And he started yelling at me when he said that to me. And I was like, Dad, it's okay. I know you're not going to do that. I already knew that. I knew from the moment you told me. I knew from the moment Annette told me that you had stage 4 liver cancer. She gave me an update, or she gave me a heads up before he called and told me. And I'd already reconciled myself with that because I knew he wasn't going to draw it out like that. Especially not when it wasn't actually going to keep him alive. It was just going to keep him here for a little bit longer. Keep him in pain a little bit longer. Keep him sick longer and sicker for the time he did have left. They also had this pill, so he decided to go ahead and try this pill. And it pretty much made him feel it. They told him it could have some of the same side effects as chemo, but it doesn't with everybody. It made him sicker than a fucking dog. In 3 days, he stopped taking it. And you know what? A couple years ago, my mom pushed me and pushed me and pushed me, telling me I needed to get on some antidepressants. I took them for 3 days, and then no, there's no motherfucking way I'm doing this. At least before I started taking them, I was dancing and singing in the car once in a while. It was like it took a fucking comforter and put it over every emotion I had. It numbed it all, and I didn't like it at all. Because whether or not some emotions are bad, when you're a very emotional person, you have very big emotions, period. Bad and good. You start taking away those emotions, you take away the bad and good, too. Somebody could really support your decision not to take some sort of medicine as well, or not to be afraid of death, but to be afraid of things that are worse than death. Somebody may have actually not supported you in carrying something for self-defense in the past, and now they do. Because they see that you're not going to allow anybody to do anything to you again without protecting yourself in some way, without putting that fight up. And they support you in that too. They support you in realizing that even angels are warriors. Angels aren't all love and light and purity and goodness, and no. Some of them are warriors. And they take care of those hard jobs that other people can't do. They take care of those hard things that other people can't do. That may be a right thing. Look at Moses when he went and freed the slaves. He sure wasn't doing things that people would consider right, necessarily. But was he supposed to turn the other cheek and allow all those people to be enslaved? Or was he supposed to step up and say, no, this is not okay, and do something about it? And he had the higher powers behind him the entire time in doing that. Or it wouldn't have been done, because the higher powers' plans always get carried out. Somebody supports you in creating a life for yourself, stability for yourself, comfort for yourself, in creating these caring, strong, solid connections around you. They support you in the loyalty that you show to others, the care that you show to others. You may even be building something so that you can help everyone around you and lift them up. So you can have something solid in a safe, comfortable place for people to be. You may help a lot of people get back on their feet when they're down and out. And you are very supported in this. They are so proud of you. Whoever it is that has passed away in your life is looking at this and is just in awe of the amazingness of it. You're doing everything they always wanted to do but could never figure out how to do. They went through a lot of trauma in their life, a lot of pain in their life, and they didn't have the resources that you had to be able to work through those things. And some people would say, well, they could have looked harder. Yeah, and they did, which is why they didn't get as far as you did. You went further than they ever did. And that's all they wanted for their child, for some of you. It may even be parents that are supportive of you in this, because you are making the changes they always wanted to be able to make in this world. You're choosing freedom. And you're choosing to guide others towards that freedom. You're choosing to break free of the toxicity. You're choosing to break free of the darkness, of the fear and the division that separates us, and to guide people into connection. You're an amazing person, and you should definitely know that if you don't. So that's what I have for this pile, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it, whether or not it resonates with you, what you might have going on, those kind of things. And if you guys do enjoy this, and thank you for this, by the way, it would be awesome if you could like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a timestamp or a donation. You can find my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wishlist, and P.O. box in the description box below, or the super thanks button. And also, if you guys enjoyed my poetry that was on here today, you can find the link for Dee's Storytime in the description box below as well. And you can find all my poetry on there. So thank you guys for any of that you do to show your support and to give back for what I'm here giving. This is how we all take care of each other, support each other, and love each other. And I really appreciate that coming from you guys. So thank you so much for that. And I really hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys. Pile 3 for you guys. Let's see who is supporting you, how, and why. So let's see who supports you, why, and how. Somebody supports you in defeating the darkness in your life, in overcoming the villains that you've dealt with, or the hurt and abuse and pain that you've gone through. Somebody supports you in your life purpose that may be much stronger than a lot of other people's. Not in that, no. Sorry, I was going to say that in a way that I didn't like. Somebody supports you in believing that it's not about being the chosen one. It's about choosing to. Harry Potter chose to. He wasn't just the chosen one, he chose to. Sure, he lived through Voldemort's first death curse. That wasn't because he was chosen. That was because of his mother's love. She sacrificed herself to make sure that he lived. And when she did that, that magic was stronger than any he could have thrown his way in that moment. Somebody may even support you in laying down your life for others. And it may not even be about actually dying, but facing every fear or danger that comes your way and being the first one at the head of the line, being the first one in the front row to tackle this and to stand up and fight and to do what you feel is right. Even if sometimes you have to break the rules. Because he had to break those rules a lot in order to do that. He had to step outside the box, the man-made box. He had to step outside of what everybody else said was right. And he had to make those decisions himself for what he really felt was right. And he stood by it with confidence and strength. Your courage, your daring, your loyalty. Your desire to put things back together when they break. Your desire to see the beauty, even in the darkest of things, all while still fighting off the darkest things. 2009, Hope, Caregiver. Somebody may also support you in your decision to maybe you might have actually, there could have been somebody who was getting ready to pass away at one point. And this could have been somebody that was very important to someone else in your life who could not be there and didn't have anything from that person at all to take with them. And it could have even had something to do with multiple other people as well that would have jumped on everything like a bunch of vultures and taken it all. and would have never made sure that this person even got a little memento. And you might have made sure that they did in some sort of way. And whoever this person is that passed away wants to let you know that they support your action in that. They support you in doing what you felt was right. When you were dealing with somebody that was greedy and overbearing, somebody who was very difficult, you might have actually even went and taken care of somebody as they were dying. And somebody could support your decision to do that too. And this could have even been somebody that had hurt you in the past. Somebody that most people would never forgive for what they had done in the past. But you decided that you wanted to do this anyway. Some of you might have found out the hard way that, this person is never going to change. They never will. Some of you could have found out that this person changed a lot. Somebody could support you very fully in lifting others up. Somebody could also support you very fully in doing what you have to do in order to get by. Somebody could support you in working a normal, mundane job as well. Something that doesn't seem like it's super exemplary or super amazing or over the moon. The hardworking, everyday men and women are what is most important and integral to this world running smoothly. We saw that a couple years ago with COVID hitting. Who did they need? They needed the fast food workers. Chicken nuggets could be important too. They needed the fast food workers. They needed the store retail workers. They needed the hospital workers. Those were the people that they needed the most. And even the courthouses closed. And then they finally found a way to start doing it through video and stuff, but they closed the courthouses for like 6 months. People that had gotten picked up on tiny little minor charges had to sit in there for 6 months while they were arranging things and getting things going. And ouch, would have been nice if those people stayed at work too. But those people, they got to be safe. And it could even be somebody supports you in doing things that put your life in danger every day. Say you are a police officer, if you're a police officer. Say you are a social worker. And in some places that can be something dangerous. Say you're doing something on the side in order to make sure that you can take care of the things that you need to take care of for the people that you are caring for in your life. Something that most people wouldn't agree with. They may really support your decision in this. Your stability, your strength, your solidity. They support you because you are strong, you are solid. They know that you are not going to fall off. They also know that you are not going to do anything that's against your morals and your values. Somebody may support you in reconnecting with people from the past as well. And somebody may support you in overcoming your addictions or in protecting others while they overcome their addictions. You might actually even be protecting someone while they're overcoming their addictions. And it could be a situation where you could get in trouble for it, or you could get hurt for it, or you could get whatever the case may be for it. There's a lot of people who feel like addicts are just the scum of the earth and like they're going to hurt you if you turn your back on them and all this other stuff. But you don't care. You're doing what you're going to do regardless of what anybody thinks about that. Could even be like during COVID, my mom got really pissed off at me and upset with me because I was having people at my house regularly, like a group of people, and we were doing bonfires with roasting hot dogs and marshmallows and dancing and music, and they were getting out of their house and they were socializing and they were doing things. And there's a lot of people in this world who can't just sit alone in a box without going fucking nuts. Introverts especially. I'm an ambivert a lot more now, but I am an introvert at times, very heavily, and I used to be even more so. Introverts, when they're forced into being outside in the public on an all-the-time basis, it can wear them out, drain them, drive them fucking nuts. When it comes to extroverts, the opposite is true. And a lot of these people may have even been people that were, a lot of the people that I was dealing with at the time were people that were overcoming addictions or people that were dealing with a lot of mental health issues, things like that. And they were, you know, I wanted them to be able to have somewhere to go where they're not going to get in trouble for it. Somewhere to go where they don't have to wear a mask. Somewhere to go where we could just be. And we could just have some fun. And we could not focus on all the problems of the fucking world or all the fear and division and hate that everybody's sowing everywhere. And instead live our lives, because tomorrow, what I would regret if I woke up tomorrow, as I told my mom, is not living my fucking life because I was afraid I was going to die from some fucking cold. That I don't even think is real, honestly. Anyway, though, let's see. 10 minutes. Serenity to accept, the courage to change, and the wisdom to know. The serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the ones that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Somebody is supporting you in learning and knowing the difference between the things that you can change and the things that you can't, and working on changing the things that you can. And there may even be some sort of getting rid of addictions yourself as well. Or maybe even getting rid of addictions of carrying everybody else. They're supporting your decision to look in the mirror. Mirror by Lil Wayne is coming to mind, or The Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. They're supporting your change, the changes you're making. They are protecting you as well in some sort of way. Somebody might actually be protecting you in some sort of way as well. Spiritually or through, they may be sending like protection, magic, and thoughts your way. Things like that. Somebody may believe that there's someone in your life that is worth loving and that your love doesn't go to waste. Somebody is also supporting you transforming this energy of eating alone, being alone all the time, of setting the table for one. You may have decided that you're no longer going to let anybody hold you back from starting a new relationship or starting a new connection or a new friendship because of the past pain, hurt, or despair, or problems, or betrayals, or because they decide that since you're making the choice to have people in your life that are making you happy, they're going to walk away and withdraw their support, or they're going to walk away and withdraw their communication, or they're going to breadcrumb you, or they're going to ghost you, or they're going to whatever, and you're just going to sit there alone waiting for them all the time with the only light you have inside yourself, and transforming this, breaking this cycle of feeling like this is what you deserve, or feeling like that's the only thing you want in your life, when there's so many other opportunities that are amazing right in front of you. Maybe your family as well has not treated you so good, because in Harry Potter, his aunt and uncle and his cousin locked him in the cupboard under the stairs. And even for a while after he had magic, they still had him living in the cupboard under the stairs, and then they moved him to the other bedroom. And that was only because they were afraid and intimidated by the power that he had inside of him. Both of those things are because of that. They locked him away because they were afraid of that. And then, on top of that, after locking him away because they were afraid of that, they then decided that they needed to let him out of there because they were afraid of what he was going to do if they didn't uncage him, unbox him, if they didn't let him break free. And still they tried one more time to keep him there against his will at one point. And tell him he wasn't going back to that school. He wasn't going back to what he was doing. That it wasn't a good place, that it was an evil place, that it was an awful place, that it was the dregs of society in the most awful corners of the earth. I had somebody a couple months ago that was telling me, you know, they would go outside to the park if it wasn't for all the homeless people around. And I was like, you realize that I'm homeless, right? There is a lot of good homeless people out there. A lot of the homeless people have been the ones that have helped me the most too, because we have very little. That's why we share all we have with you, though there's little to be found. When all you have is nothing, there's a lot to go around. So I sat and explained to her, but if I was judging her for that, or if I was angry because of it, I wouldn't have been able to sit there and explain it to her. But there's a lot of good people out there, and you can learn a lot from some of those people if you just give it a chance and sit down and talk to them for a minute. Your kid could learn a lot from those people. Breaking the cycle of sitting alone with your riches, for some, because, you know, and falling into addictions because you're alone and you have nobody and you're miserable, when all you would have to do to change that is be willing to give to, being willing to give and being willing to see when others are giving to you, even if it's not in the same way. So I choose to release all negative thoughts and limiting beliefs about myself and the world around me. I am the creator in my life, and I hold the power to create. I create amazing creations. I have the ability to have an amazing life. Blessings rain down on me each day. I choose to bless others in the same way. I am open to give and to receive freely. I am in a state of free-flowing energy. I am not blocked. I do not block these energies. I am at peace and I surrender. Everything is as it should be. Everything happens as it should. Everything that happens is for my highest good. I release all the pain, hardship, and lack. I accept peace, abundance, and freedom. I am worthy. I matter. I belong. I am connected. I am at peace. I feel joy. I smile each day. I find gratitude and I express it. I am truly blessed. I live my life. I love my life. I am not afraid of death. I am not afraid of failure. I am not afraid of success. I know that I am strong. I know that I am wise. I know that I can do this. I know that I am not alone. All my negative thoughts and beliefs have been released, and I am at peace. I am a master manifester. All I feel to be real becomes a reality. So something else that was going through my mind. So there's somebody who was, you know, upset that nobody wants to eat the food that they're making and blah, 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 blah. And then people came into their life who wanted to eat the food that they were making. And that happened to me once, and I fed them all because I was like, fuck yes, there's people who want to come eat my food. Come eat my food. I will take care of you. Those people didn't really have much gratitude for the care, and, you know, at the end of the day, they did some messed up things, some of them, and some of them didn't. But either way, this person was bitching about that. Then they got people to feed, and then they're bitching that they don't have enough food to feed the people that they are feeding. And what's extra funny about that is that person could have taken those people to go get some food, and because they didn't, and they were reliant on the source next to them that they were told it was okay to indulge in, they started eating more there. And so they were upset about it. Those are the types of people that are creating misery all around them. They don't know what they want. And when they get it, they don't appreciate it. They don't value it. They just want to be in a miserable state. And some people just want to stay in that miserable state. But at the same time, sometimes communication can change everything. Standing up and doing what's right, and standing up and speaking about what you feel is right, and doing it without judgment and doing it without anger. A little bit of anger is okay, but I'm meaning the way that you word it. You can have anger driving it because that will make it stronger. But the words you use need to be chosen carefully, and I feel like you are somebody who does that a lot, and you are very supported in this. Justice. You bring justice. You expose the hidden things. You reveal things people aren't seeing. The 9 of Wands, Temperance. You're very in touch with your emotions, very vulnerable and open right now. You are really shining in your feminine energy, shining brightly, lighting up the whole world. The moon lights up the whole world too when it's full. And you have decided you are full. Without anything else in the world, you don't have any missing pieces. You are full. And you have stepped into your kindness, your caring, your understanding. You are observing things and acting on them. You have been through so much, but you have not let the things that you have been through drive you into the ground, and you are still fighting for another day. And if you have not given up, then you have not failed. You might be feeling like you have failed about something or in something in some way, especially if there's a lot of people who didn't see it or appreciate it or value it while you were sitting by their side. But you were sitting there anyway. And you were a loving light in this world for others. Patient, kind, understanding, strong and stable. And you guide so many people to this strength and stability. Your patience, your persistence, your dedication. The fact that through all the extremes, you are keeping so much balance within yourself and so much peace within yourself, and you are still following your highest guiding light. You are still allowing your morals and values to lead the way, no matter what you're stepping into, and no matter what you're dabbling in, and no matter where you're going. Somebody supports you being patient with the situation at hand and being able to end things peacefully as well. Somebody supports you in walking away from a marriage for some of you as well, or walking away from a screwed up justice system that really isn't even a justice system. If you're dealing with something like that, or some position of power where somebody's abusing it and you're walking away from that, they want you to see these things inside yourself, though, that you are destined to be on this path. You're very aligned with where you're supposed to be going and where you're at. And you may not be seeing that because to what most people believe in this world, it may not be a path that everybody would say you should go down. It might actually be a path that most people frown upon. Look how many times Harry Potter got in trouble for breaking the rules and got all the points taken away from Gryffindor. And then everybody in Gryffindor was pissed off at him and mad at him. And then when he earned points for Gryffindor at the end of the day, earned back what he had lost, because everybody saw that he was right and he was doing the right thing and he was trying to do things that were good, but nobody would listen. He got that back and everybody was supporting him at the end of the day. And do you notice he didn't hate any of them for the way that tide shifted and changed based on the worldly views around them? Because at some point everybody was brainwashed by those. But he chose to step out of that brainwashing and to do what he felt was right. So that is what I have for this pile. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. I would absolutely love to hear what you guys had to say about it, whether or not it resonates, what you might have going on, who these people are. And thank you guys as well so much for all the support you send my way, whether it be liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, leaving timestamps or donations. You can find my Cash App, PayPal, Amazon wishlist, and P.O. Box in the description box below if you wanted to be able to do that. Or the people that are hitting that super thanks button. And anyone who has subscribed, liked, shared, commented on my other channel, Dee's Storytime, where I have all my poetry. You can find that in the description box below as well. Thank you guys so much for all that you do to support me in my path and to give back here. I really do appreciate it, and it makes such a strong impact in my life. It's because of angels like you that the angels keep their hope alive and continually do what they feel to be the right thing. That support really does do wonders, and you have it all around you. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys.